Happy Friday, everyone. Thank you guys so much once again for tuning back in. I'll say that time and again. And let's get right into another recap here. So, today is a red day recap, unfortunately, for this Friday, and no sugarcoating it. I definitely got smoked today, right? I was down basically my goal on the day, which is $100. I was down $96, right around 1%, because I'm using $10,000 a day trade, just to remind you guys. And definitely not a good sign at all. So definitely was a struggle today, and I want to go ahead and share with you guys where I've been struggling, because I don't know if any of you can also relate. It's a problem I've had in the past, but just something I find myself really struggling with this week. But in terms of how the Nasdaq pushed up, right around here was when the market opened up, and we did have this nice rally, right? It ended up pushing up to TQQQ up for a play up till 12.811. And right around here, we obviously ended up finding a top and having this enormous sell-off in favor of SQQQ, right? So just to remind you guys, the Nasdaq has an inverse ETF SQQQ, and as the market sells off, it acts in direct opposite of it. So SQQQ will push up, right? And there you go. You'll see, if you'll notice, it looks exactly the opposite of the Nasdaq, the chart of the Nasdaq. So you could have capitalized on it there, and a lot of you may have been wondering or confused as to why was there such a clear direction when the market opened up, right? Why was there such a clear direction upwards, and why on earth did we find such a dramatic change of direction up here for a huge sell-off, right? Where did the sell-off come from? Because it doesn't look like anywhere around here it could have gotten rejected, right? And just like I was telling you guys previously in the week, this is why it's so important, and you can look at the bigger picture time frames. If you don't ever see a resistance anywhere on the 1 day, 1 minute, or 5, whatever you're using, the 5 day, 5 minute, always go bigger picture to see where there are areas where the market can sell off. So right around here was yesterday after this huge gap up. If you guys saw the video yesterday, you'll notice that I told you once we broke this resistance, the market shot up nicely, right? And it was able to peak out right around here at right around 12,700, just under that. And today when the market opened up, we were able to find a higher low, and the market wanted to continuously try to keep climbing, right? And that's what I wanted to make you guys aware of. We did start getting this play up because a lot of people saw that the market still wanted to hold, right? It wanted to form like a higher low, basically, follow this uptrending pattern around this area, and it wanted to keep trying to keep climbing. And a lot of people may have been too one-sided, like I have told you guys about, trying to get into TQQQ, and they had no idea something like this would have been coming, which is why there was such a big reversal. A lot of people saw this was a big area of resistance, big picture, and some people may not have seen that, right? They just may not have been aware of that because they weren't looking at the charts, bigger picture, seeing, okay, there are actually areas where we might see some form of rejection. So right around here is where we obviously found it, and that's, in my opinion, what led to this huge sell-off, right? The market has just gapped up pretty enormously the past 2 days, and after we got such a large push up this morning, we were bound to start seeing some form of consolidation and then a rejection. So here's the 1 year time frame, and you guys can just see from looking at it too, right? It makes sense why there could have been some type of struggle here. The market had a nice gap up, just like it has had before, and just like it has had before with this nice gap up, it struggled right around here, and that's what it wanted to do today. So definitely there was a huge pullback. And in regards as to how I think the Nasdaq will keep trading, I obviously don't know. I'm not a fortune teller or anything like that, but the market is looking like it's gonna want to do obviously one of two things. It's either gonna try and keep forming these higher lows, maybe come back down and try to go up and break this resistance and then go, or it's gonna try and validate this resistance here, and it will start getting rejected, and we're going to start seeing a nice sell-off continuously forming. But I do want to make you guys aware of the fact that at least on this time frame, the 1 year, we are still holding above the SMA line, which is something we weren't doing in the past that led to these aggressive sell-offs. So keep that in mind. I think we're going to see some chop around these areas, consolidation, before we find the true direction of whether we want to break up or down. So in regards to my day trading, where have I really been going wrong this week? I want to let you guys know where I don't know if any of you guys can relate to, but I have been seeming to really average up at the absolute worst times this week. I feel like a lot of the times I push to try and wait for confirmation, which is always a great thing, but I feel like I've just been waiting too long for that confirmation. And anytime we're getting, let's say, a play up, I would have waited to average up a little late, and only to get caught in these little fake outs instead of these actual moves up. And that's where I've really been going wrong. I found myself multiple times today, I would send it fully at an area where I thought it was going to break out. Let's say right around here is a perfect example. I saw NQ start trading above the blue EMA line here. I bought in thinking it was going to form a nice higher low. And really, I should be looking to fully send everything, let's say, or a little early on, but where it makes sense. Let's say a break above this middle VWAP here. So anytime it were to go up and come back down, I would just cut it where it makes sense, which is a drop below the line. But what I keep finding myself do is I'm waiting for more confirmation, and let's say the market starts pushing up, I'll see it starts breaking these little areas of resistance it had, and I'll fully send it for it to go my way a little, and then just absolutely crash back down to the levels it was at. And then I would cut it, obviously for a loss, right, because I bought in a little higher, only for it to actually form these higher lows and keep going. And I found myself multiple times getting faked out like that, where I'll send a play, basically I'll fully average in, only to get faked out, I'll cut it, and then it really just starts going on a day. So that's why I find it's in my best interest to maybe average up somewhere a little sooner, but where it just makes sense, right? If it's going to break above this resistance, this middle VWAP, I should average in there rather than wait for a nice pop for it to actually start going. Because if I wait for these pops, I'll send it only for it to fall, like I just said, and then try and find these higher lows. But I don't want to risk holding it on one of these falls, because if it was a fall that actually dropped below this middle VWAP again, then that would be a pretty penny, right, that I would lose. It'd probably be closer to $50 to $60 rather than 20 to 30, right? And that's just something I want to keep in mind. I don't want to let myself lose too much money in a single trade. I want to try and manage some risk. So on top of that, obviously been over trading. Here are all my filled orders, over 700 on the day. So I just want to make you guys aware of that. If any of you are struggling, what I want to be doing different is I'm going to try and send it at areas I think are a little bit more early, but where I'm not buying in after a large pop or something like that. And on top of that, I just really want to focus on direction for the day. I'm tired of basically, if you'll notice, I'm basically sending a lot of my position towards the middle of these areas where there tends to be chalk. If I really want to set up a good play for TQs, I'll, let's say, buy in where I thought there could be a higher low and look to fully send it earlier on, so I'm not taking part in any of these drops afterwards, and I could feel comfortable letting my position play out even with these little pullbacks, right? So that's my takeaway for the day. Did a horrible job managing risk this week, and if I really want to take it one step further, I can always decide to only average in with another quarter and be in with half my position, let's say. I don't always have to be in with a full amount, and yeah, that's something I've definitely been learning too. Definitely still looking to get better every day. I have a lot to work on, and this week for sure proved it, but I am thankful to, after a day like today, just be ending the week red, only around $50, right? Only like 0.5%, not the end of the world. And yeah, just excited to keep coming at it and getting better. So my brother's going to be trading next week, and he's been using $30,000. He scaled because he has been doing better than me. So that should definitely be exciting for the good or worse, right? And yeah, be on the lookout for that. Thank you guys so much once again. Hope you all have a great weekend. I hope you all were able to end green on the day and capitalize on the huge moves up and down. And yeah, thank you all so much, and I'll see you all next week. Take care.